All right, so in this video, we're going to build out our basic navigation. So in our XD design that we did a few videos back, it's basically going to be just this. It's basically going to be just this, this tab bar here. We're going to get the tab bar set up, and we're going to have our top bar set up, and that'll be what we're going to cover in this video. Alright, so we have here just the basic out-of-the-box Flutter demo app where you can just click the button and it increases the number here. Let's go ahead and after this My App widget, let's go ahead and delete everything below that. And now we're left with just our My App class. Actually in here, let's just go ahead and delete everything in here as well. And this is in our... Keep in mind, this is in our main.dart, so if we open up our lib folder here, we can see we only have one file right now, and it's the file that we've been editing. So yes, so what we want to do is let's recreate that build method we just destroyed. And let's remove these pre-populated things. We want to return here the material app. And you have to do this kind of at the beginning of any Flutter project. So this right here is basically giving the entrance to our app, which is basically our main entrance to our app is going to just call this function. So we want the material app here, which is what we're importing up at the top. And from here, we're going to we'll give it our title, and we'll just say travel budget app, and we'll give it we can change the theme, and let's see, theme data, we'll give it, for now we'll just change the color, so we'll say the primary, we actually want primary swatch here, and we'll do that, we'll make that green right now. So that's basically how this is blue right now is the default. This is just going to change those colors to green. Now we want to give it the home, and we're going to call this, we're going to give it the home, this home function, which we actually haven't created yet. It's actually a class, this home class. Now we're going to create this home class. So let's do that actually in a new file. So over here, let's just create a new Dart file, and we're going to call this the home widget. And all right, so now in here we're going to again just import this package, so you could copy that, the materials package. And now let's create that class, that home class, and this is going to be a stateful widget. This will be a stateful widget. And that's because this is going to change. We're going to be changing different pages. This home class here is going to serve for basically our entire project's view. So it's going to have the top navigation, the bottom navigation, as well as the page being displayed. So in the home class, we only really want to create the state. So we should have that here, create state, and just go ahead and clear out all that. And we want to just return here the home state. All right, so we didn't create this class yet, so let's go ahead and do that. Home state is going to extend state, just generic state here, and it will be for obviously home. So the first thing we want to do here is create our build class. Let's remove the stuff in there. And for this, we want to return a scaffold. So the reason for this is because this home class is going to be our whole scaffold for our app. So before, when we started up, the scaffold was being built and called from main. Now our scaffold is going to be called from this home widget. So let's return our scaffolds, and the first thing we can do is just put the app bar on it. And we'll use the app bar widget there. And for now, we're just going to give it the title. And that can be, the title can be just travel budget app. Now, that's not actually going to be the title of our app, but for now, in code, until we decide what we want to call the app, we're just going to leave it as this. Next thing we can add in is the bottom navigation. So bottom navigation bar, we could call like that, and then this is going to be a bottom app bar, a bottom navigation bar. So set that up like that, and then let's just go ahead and fix that a little bit. The first thing we can do here is add the current index, and for now we're going to keep that 0. What this is going to do is tell the app what page we're on, so basically what tab is clicked. So for now we'll do 0. For items, this is going to be an array, so go ahead and create the array, and it's going to be an array of bottom navigation bar items. So these are actually going to be the icon with the word below it that we can click on, these navigation bar items. So the first one, if you remember, we're going to actually have 3 of these in our XD design over here. We have the 3 navigation bar items. We have the home, the explorer, and this is actually past trips, not new trips. So that's updated there. So those are the 3 we're going to create for now. Potentially we'll be adding more later, but this will get us started nicely. So all right, from here we're going to just add 2 things. We're going to add the icon, and we can use the icon built-in package here, and for that we can just do icon, or do icons here. And if you just hit icons dot, you can see all these different icons over here that you want to use. So you go through and pick whichever ones you like there. That's how you can tell what they are. I've already gone through and picked out a few. So home is what we want to use for here, because this is going to be the home tab, and we're going to give that the title of home, and that's just going to be text. All right, good. So this is one tab bar item. Now that actually needs a comma there. Now let's just copy that and modify it slightly. For home, we're gonna, or for after home, we're gonna have explore. So we'll use the explore icon and just call this explore. And then for the third icon, we're gonna use the history icon, and this is for our past trips. All right, that looks good. Everything should be set up for our bottom navigation in terms of displaying our icons. If we try to run this, it isn't quite working, and the reason for that is that we're not importing this new widget into our main file here. So to do that, you can just up at the top below the material, just import the file that we just created, which is called home widget. And when we save that and run it, now we should see our app with our bottom navigation. So you'll notice that if you click these other buttons on the navigation, nothing actually happens. So let's fix that and get them working. Okay, so go back over to our home widgets file, and we want to go into our home state class. And the first thing we're going to do is add a variable for our current index. So do that right at the very top, and it's going to be an int. So call it current, we'll just call it current index. And for now we'll set it to 0. That'll be its base default setting. So this is going to be this variable is how we're going to track what page we're on, what tab is selected. And the next thing we need to do is create a list, and this list is going to hold widgets, and the widgets here that this list is going to hold are actually going to be the body of our app here. So we're going to have a list of the different widgets, which you could also think of them as like pages. Those are all going to be held in this list here. So let's call it children. And it's for now, let's just leave it as an empty array or an empty list. Now, the next thing we can update is calling this child element, this element in children, in the actual build of our widget. So to do that, we don't want to update the app bar or the bottom navigation. We actually want to display it in the body. So the body is this whole area of your screen. So it's this is like the main piece of the app. Okay, so the body is actually going to just be the element in this children list is going to be that widget. So we can just say it's going to be the widget at the current index. So we'll define this like this. Now, the next thing we want to do is add some state changing when we tap one of our icons here. So to do that, we can just we can just go above the current index here. We're going to just do on tap, right? So call on tap here, and we're going to call a new function here. So we're going to say we're going to just call it on tab tapped. All right, so this has not been created, so let's just go ahead and quickly create that. We want to do that inside this class, but outside of our build function. So it should still be in our home state class, and we're going to create that right here. So on tab tapped should be right here. Let's make this a void. I'll call this with void. And this is just void because we don't actually want to return anything here. We just want to update the current index. So this should take the index, or it should take an int, and we're going to call it index within the function here. So we're going to go ahead and set the state now within here, and the state is going to be changing current index, and it's going to equal the index. It's going to equal this index passed in. Now the index is passed in on tap, so it's already being, this is just a way to call on tapped, giving it the index of our navigation bar. All right, so that looks good. Now the other thing we want to change here is current index should not be 0. It should actually be our current index. So update that. All right, that all looks good. So we should be able to click through now. Well, we would be able to click through and go through the list of these widgets, but we don't actually have any widgets created yet. So first thing we need to do is go ahead and create we need to create the 3 widgets that are going to be related to this, to be related to these navigation bar items. So let's actually just do this in one new file. So create a new file. And for now, we'll call this pages. And in our pages file, we're going to go ahead and import the material package again. And here we're going to really just simply create a class for each page. So these are probably going to get, or these will definitely get broken out into their own individual files later, but for now, let's just do stateless widgets. And let's just build them. Let's just go ahead and build them to return a container. So remove all this, and we just want to return a container because, again, these are going to be called to be the body of our page that we're on. So return a container that just has a background color. So let's go ahead and set the color. For home, we can make the color, let's see, let's actually call it like this. Colors for home, we'll make the color blue. and that should be good. Now, basically, we're just going to copy this whole thing because it's pretty simple, and copy it 3 times. We're going to have the home page, and we're going to have the explore page. And the explore page can be, let's make the explore page yellow. And our last page is our past trips page. And let's go ahead and make the past trips page orange. All right, so now we have, these are essentially our 3 page widgets. So let's go ahead and add these into our list here. So we have our, we had our home page, and we actually want that like that. Okay, you notice these aren't getting highlighted. That's because we do need to go ahead and import our pages widgets into here. So go ahead and just call pages here, and now this will get highlighted up. So we had 3 pages were home, explore page, and past trips page. So explore page and past trips page. All right, that should be good. Now, if we save and run our app, we should be able to see, again, that homepage that we made blue. We should see that on our homepage. And then if you click on either of the tabs, the background color will change. All right, awesome. So we got our tab bar set up, and we can click through the pages. Granted, the pages right now are just a stateless widget with changing color on the background. But you can see how this is already starting to set up nicely, where we can change those widgets to be customized in each of the different areas. Everything's looking good so far. Finally, we got the app started. All right, that's it. Ciao for now.